I remember the exact moment. I was sitting in my room. My English notebook was open. 12 pages, full of words, grammar rules, long lists, and I understood nothing. I felt tired. I felt lost. I felt like giving up. Maybe you know this feeling too. You study every day, you watch videos, you read articles, but when someone speaks to you, your mind goes blank. That was me. Chapter 1. The day I stopped learning everything. One night I closed my big notebook. I pushed it away, and I asked myself a simple question. What if I don't need 1,000 words? What if I only need 50? It sounded strange, almost impossible, but I was tired of feeling stuck. So I decided to try something new. I picked 50 simple words. Words like want, need, like, think, today, because, maybe, good, feel, let's. Nothing fancy, nothing academic, just real words, words people actually use. And then I made a rule. For 1 week, I would only use these 50 words in my thoughts, in my sentences, in my daily life. At first, it felt silly. It felt too simple. My brain wanted more words, more grammar, more rules. But I stayed with it. Morning came. I woke up and said one sentence in English. I feel good today. 4 words. Simple, clear, mine. I made coffee. I said another sentence. I want coffee. I need energy. Nobody was listening. It didn't matter. I was speaking. Real English. My English. By the end of day 1, something surprising happened. I wasn't tired anymore. I wasn't confused. I felt light. For the first time in months, English didn't feel like a mountain. It felt like a small hill, a hill I could climb. Day 2 was easier. Day 3, even easier. I started noticing something powerful. These 50 words weren't just words. They were doors. Doors into real conversations, real thinking, real confidence. I didn't need to sound perfect. I needed to sound real. And slowly, these 50 words became something bigger. They became my morning thoughts. They became my evening reflections. They became my daily English. That is the story I want to share with you today. Because if you are tired of long lists, if you are tired of forgetting words the next day, if you feel like English is too big, too far, too difficult, I want to show you a different way, a smaller way, a simpler way, a way that actually works. In this video, I will show you exactly how 50 simple words changed my daily life. Not overnight, not with magic, but with small, repeated, natural practice. You will learn what these 50 words are, how I use them every single day, how they slowly became automatic, and how you can do the exact same thing starting today. This is not about knowing more. This is about using what you already have. You probably already know 50 simple words, maybe more. The real skill isn't learning new words. The real skill is using them again and again until they become part of you. So take a breath. Relax your shoulders. You don't need to be perfect today. You just need to begin. Let's take this journey together, word by word, day by day, sentence by sentence. Because sometimes the smallest words carry the biggest change. And by the end of this lesson, you will understand exactly why 50 simple words can do more for your English than 500 complicated ones. Let's begin. Chapter 2. Why 50 words are enough. Let me ask you something. Do you think you need thousands of words to speak English well? Most learners think yes. I thought yes too. For years, I believed more words meant more fluency, but that belief was wrong. Here is the truth. A small number of words are used again and again in daily conversation. These words carry most of the meaning. The rest just decorate the sentence. Think about your own language. When you talk to your family, your friends, your coworkers, how many different words do you actually use? Not many. You use the same simple words every day. I want, I think, I feel, I need. Let's go. Maybe later. That's good. I don't know. Simple, repeated, powerful. English works the same way. So I asked myself another question. What if I focus only on the words that repeat the most in daily life? That question changed everything. I sat down and wrote 50 words. Not random words, practical words. Words for feelings, words for actions, words for time, words for connection. Here is a small part of my list. For feelings: good, bad, happy, tired, worried, excited. For actions: want, need, like, think, try, help. For time: today, tomorrow, now, later, always, never. For connection: because, but, so, maybe, actually, really. These words don't look impressive. They don't look advanced. But together, they build real conversations. Watch this. I feel tired today, but I want to try. 7 simple words, 1 honest sentence, real English. Maybe later because I need to think. Again, simple, clear, natural. This is where many learners make a mistake. They chase difficult words before mastering easy ones. They memorize sophisticated vocabulary, but freeze during a simple conversation. I made this mistake too. I once memorized 50 advanced words in 1 week. Impressive words, words for exams. But 1 week later, I remembered almost none of them. Why? Because I never used them. I never repeated them in real situations. That's when I understood something important. Words don't become yours because you memorize them. Words become yours because you use them. Repetition builds memory. Real use builds confidence. So instead of collecting more and more words, I decided to go deep with fewer words. I used my 50 words everywhere. When I made tea, I said, I want tea now. When I walked outside, I said, I feel good today. When something went wrong, I said, it's okay, I'll try again. Every situation became practice. Every moment became a small English lesson. And little by little, These 50 words stopped feeling like English words. They started feeling like my thoughts. That is the real goal. Not memorizing, not translating. Thinking directly, naturally, simply. You don't need to sound like a professor. You need to sound like you in English. So here is your first step. Later in this lesson, I will give you your own list of 50 daily words. Simple, practical, ready to use. But right now, understand this one idea clearly. Fewer words, used often, beat many words, used rarely. This is not a shortcut. This is not easy English. This is smart English. And in the next chapter, I will show you exactly how I used these 50 words, morning to night, until they became automatic. Stay with me. This is where the real transformation begins. Chapter 3. A morning built from 50 words. Let me take you through a real morning. Not a perfect morning, not a movie scene, just a normal day built completely from my 50 words. The alarm rings. I open my eyes. My first thought comes automatically now. I feel tired. Simple, honest, true. I sit up slowly. Another thought follows. I need coffee. I walk to the kitchen. I make coffee. While waiting, I say quietly, I want a good day today. Notice something. These are not textbook sentences. These are real thoughts, my actual feelings spoken in simple English. This is the secret. I wasn't studying English in the morning. I was living in English. I looked outside the window. The sky was cloudy. Maybe it will rain later. One sentence, one observation, one small connection between my brain and English. I got dressed. Another thought appeared. I don't like this shirt. I'll try another one. See the pattern? Feeling, action, decision. All expressed using the same 50 words, repeated in new situations. At breakfast, I practiced something new. I described my food out loud. This is good. I really like it. 2 sentences, basic vocabulary, real meaning. Then came something powerful. Imagined conversation. I imagined someone asking me, "How are you today?" And I answered, out loud in English. "I'm okay. A little tired, but I feel good." No one was there. It didn't matter. My brain didn't know the difference. It was building real speaking muscles. This is something I want you to try. Imagine small conversations during your day. Ask yourself simple questions. Answer using your 50 words. What do I want today? I want to learn something new. What do I need? I need more practice. These aren't complicated sentences, but they are alive. They are yours. Later, while walking, I noticed people around me. I practiced describing them silently. That man looks tired. She seems happy. They are talking fast. Again, 50 words, endless situations. At work, small opportunities appeared. A colleague asked something. Before, I would freeze, searching for perfect grammar. Now, I simply answered with what I had. I think so, but I'm not sure. Maybe later. Not perfect, not complicated, but real, understood. natural. This is fluency. Not perfect grammar, not big vocabulary. Fluency is using what you know quickly and naturally without freezing. By midday, something interesting happened. I stopped translating. Before, my brain worked like this: think in my language, translate, speak. Now, thoughts appear directly in English. I'm hungry. I want lunch. This is really good. No translation, just direct thought. This shift didn't happen in one day. It happened through repetition. Same words, different situations, again and again. By using these 50 words constantly, morning, work, lunch, walking, my brain slowly rewired itself. English stopped feeling foreign. It started feeling familiar. And that feeling, that comfort, is exactly what we are building toward. In the next chapter, I'll show you how these same 50 words carried me through evenings, difficult moments, and even emotional conversations. Because daily English isn't only about mornings, it's about every part of your day. Let's continue. Chapter 4: Evenings, Emotions, and Real Conversations. By evening, my 50 words had a new job. They weren't just describing my day anymore. They were helping me feel things in English. This is where real transformation begins. Not vocabulary, emotion. Let me explain. After work, I sat down. I felt exhausted. Normally, I would think this in my own language, but that evening, a simple thought appeared naturally. I'm really tired today. No effort, no translation, just true. Then something harder happened. I had a small problem that day. Something didn't go well. In the past, I would avoid talking about it, especially in English. Too difficult, too emotional. But now I had my 50 words, enough to express something honest. I feel bad about today, but it's okay. I'll try again tomorrow. Read that sentence again. Simple words, deep meaning. This is something many learners forget. You don't need complicated vocabulary to express real emotions. You need courage to use simple words honestly. That evening, I called a friend. We spoke for a few minutes in English. I was nervous, as always, but I noticed something new. I wasn't searching for perfect words anymore. I was simply saying what I felt. I'm okay, just tired. I think tomorrow will be better. My friend understood completely. The conversation felt natural, not perfect, natural. This is the real goal of language, not perfection, connection. Later, I practiced something I now do every single evening. I call it my 3-sentence reflection. 3 simple sentences summarizing my day. Today was good. I felt a little stressed, but I tried my best. Tomorrow, I want to do better. Notice something important. These sentences use words from my original 50. Nothing new, nothing complicated. But they carry real emotional weight. This small habit did something powerful over time. It trained my brain to think, reflect, and process emotions directly in English. I no longer needed to translate my feelings. I felt them in English. This is a level of fluency textbooks rarely teach: emotional fluency, the ability to express your inner world simply and honestly in another language. As days passed, My evening conversations grew slightly longer. Still simple, still built from the same 50 words, but more natural, more confident. I began imagining harder situations too. What if someone disagreed with me? What if I needed to explain a mistake? I practiced these moments out loud. I understand, but I think differently. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Actually, I don't agree, but that's okay. Simple structures, honest tone, real communication. This is what daily practice with a small set of words creates. Not perfection, comfort. Comfort speaking, comfort thinking, comfort simply being yourself in English. Some nights before sleeping, I whispered small thoughts to myself. I did my best today. I'm proud of myself. Tomorrow, I'll try again. These moments may seem small, but repeated night after night, they build something enormous. Emotional confidence in a second language. By using my 50 words for mornings, work, emotions, and reflection, English slowly stopped being a subject I study. It became a space where I could think, feel, and simply exist. That is the real transformation this method creates. Not memorization, integration. Not performance, presence. In our final chapter, I want to show you exactly how this small daily habit changed my confidence completely, and how you can start your own 50-word journey today. Stay with me. This last part matters the most. Chapter 5. How 50 words changed everything. Let's go back to where we started. Remember that tired student sitting with a huge notebook feeling completely lost? That was me, months ago. Now let me show you where those 50 simple words eventually led me. At first, the change was small, barely noticeable. A few honest sentences in the morning, a few reflections at night. But small changes, repeated daily, create something powerful over time. After a few weeks, I noticed I wasn't translations anymore. My thoughts simply appeared in English, naturally, without effort. After a month, conversations felt lighter. I wasn't afraid of silence. I wasn't afraid of mistakes. I had 50 reliable words, ready whenever I needed them. After 2 months, something surprising happened. I started adding new words, naturally. Not because I memorized long lists, but because I needed them. My 50 words gave me a strong foundation. New words simply attach themselves to that foundation, one at a time. This is the real secret. Fluency doesn't start with many words. Fluency starts with a few words, used deeply, honestly, and repeatedly. Once that foundation exists, growth becomes natural, effortless, enjoyable. Today, when I speak English, I don't think about grammar rules. I don't search desperately for vocabulary. I simply speak, the same way I use my 50 words. Honestly, simply, confidently. And it all began with one small decision: to stop chasing more and start using what I already had. Now, I want to give this same opportunity to you. Here is your simple daily challenge. Step 1. Choose 50 simple words. Feelings, actions, time words, connectors. Keep them practical. Step 2. Use these words every single day. Morning thoughts, daily activities, evening reflections. Step 3. Don't chase perfection. Chase repetition. The same words, many situations. Step 4. Speak your feelings honestly, even with simple words. I feel tired. I feel proud. I feel unsure, but I'm trying. Step 5. Reflect every evening. 3 simple sentences about your day. This builds thinking fluency, not just speaking fluency. That's it. No complicated system, no expensive course. Just 50 words used with intention every single day. I know it feels small right now. I know your brain might want more, faster. But trust this process. Trust the small steps. Trust simple, honest repetition. Because 50 words, repeated with purpose, will take you further than 500 words, memorized and forgotten. Language isn't built through knowledge alone. It's built through daily living. So starting today, choose your 50 words. Speak them, feel them, live them. Let them become your morning thoughts, your evening reflections, your quiet confidence. Let them become your daily English. If this story helped you see English differently, I'd love to know. Tell me one word you'll start using today. Practice a little every day. Be patient with yourself. Progress is already happening, even when you can't see it yet. Keep speaking. Keep practicing. Keep believing in yourself. I'll see you in the next lesson.